So the dog treats are now baked, and I'm going to let them cool before I try to lift them. And then I will give them to the pups at my feet. And I'm making kombucha, so I'm a new batch today, so I'm making my tea, my sweet tea, and that's going to cool all day and help me heat the house, as did the making dog treats, because it's snowy outside. And my messy workstation. I highly recommend reusing containers. I used to go through loads and loads of goat feta because my favorite meal, both James and I loved Greek salad, so we'd eat a lot of feta cheese, so we'd buy these big tubs, and now they make perfect storage containers for carrot sticks, which I'm going to have with some baba ganoush and bean dip. And the bean dip's also great, or the baba ganoush, whatever kind of dip, is great for putting in celery sticks. If you're accustomed to putting cheese whiz in your celery sticks, and I know I was raised on that sort of thing, other dips work out really well. And you can add nutritional yeast to your bean dip when you make it, and then it'll taste cheesy if that's what you're into. So the bean dip's really versatile, as you know, pretty much you can put it like I did for Thanksgiving in a baked potato with some parsley or some chives, and that tastes really great, or it tastes great just like this. And oh, I wanted to talk about a few movies that I watched. Bad Lucky Goat was a bad movie, but it you know, it made me think about uncomfortable things, because in this movie these kids, like, they're pawning a Rolex, and then they're going and betting on cockfighting and stuff like that, because that's, you know, obviously that's something that children would enjoy, you know. So other cultures are not necessarily like ours, and it makes you think, when people are immigrating, are they immigrating because they want to adopt your culture, or is it for some other reason and they're bringing their culture with them when they come? And it's, you know, it's maybe worth thinking about. The Sense of an Ending, I just wanted it to end. I found it completely boring. There were stupid things in it, like they're flipping back and forth, as you know you do when you're thinking about, or when a story's unraveling. So they're flipping back and forth in time, and you have the 60s where they did get clothing right and stuff like that, but they have this old car that they've, I don't know, rented or whatever to make the movie, and it has been fashioned with seat belts, you know, over the shoulder sort of deals, so that people can drive it nowadays. But it shows them doing up their seat belts in this car, and they should have just not shown the seat belts at all, made sure, because there's no way. I remember in the 70s, a lot of vehicles didn't even come with seat belts, and then when they did, it was lap belts, when it wasn't. Anyway, so they really, I can't stand it when I watch movies and they haven't done the research, or they haven't cared to. Anyway, Fresh Off the Boat, the complete third season, is so terrible. We had such a hard time watching it. Really, this show is, it seems like, to me anyway, that the character that this kid is based on is probably the writer of the series, and this guy is the character who probably did the music for it, which is terrible. And anyway, this woman is just unlikable. We can't stand her. We can't stand watching it because she is so awful. She's constantly pulling out the race card, when it's not appropriate. She did things like she got a woman. I don't know who she was played by. Anyway, blonde woman. James had said, "Is that such a like?" I don't know, Farrah Fawcett or something. I'm not sure who it was, but when he said it, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's probably her." But anyway, I don't know. She got this blonde woman fired. She was working at a department store because this woman goes to the manager and makes up this story saying that the woman was racist, and the woman gets fired. And then she goes back and says, "Oh, it was a lie." So then the woman has her job back. But it's like, wow, who would do that, you know? And she's constantly wanting to pull out the race card. Whenever anything happens, she's like, "Oh, I'm going to tell everybody that you're a racist," or whatever. And it's like, holy gosh. And so this kid is learning stuff like that, and he goes around in school and he's making up things so that he can have things just as he wants it. So he's saying, "Oh, that's, you know, not appropriate for my culture, so I can't eat beans," or whatever. And so he's getting more of the stuff that he likes or whatever, right? And it's just, it honestly, watching this makes me sick. I like to think better of people than this. So this is just, and plus it's like fresh off the boat and you have pockets load of foreign cash. So what do? You make a crappy series even though no one can really act. It's so bad. Anyway, Get Shorty with Chris O'Dowd and Ray Romano. And I don't care for Ray Romano. I know everybody else seems to love Raymond, not me. But Chris O'Dowd, both James and I just adore. And this is a dark comedy. This is season 1. And I look forward to season 2 like crazy. It was very good. Very well done. If you don't mind. They're gangster sort of people, right? They take care of dead bodies for mafia type. Anyway, so it's a bit dark. Will and Grace, the revival. And it's all the original people. Grace has gained a fair amount of weight. Will looks exactly the same. Anyway, this was really good. This is season 1. And I'm not really into Will and Grace. I never was. I'm not into it's not the whole, you know, trying to make gay people look like a straight couple or whatever. I don't care about that. It's that I don't like the staged sort of shows. So anything like this, you know, that it could be anything. That the things are set on a stage, you can tell, and it's just not real. It's just, those kind of things are made for other actors who like patting themselves on the back when they do stage performances or whatever. I don't know, or people who like to go to the theater, who really appreciate stage sort of acting, but it's not realistic, and I don't think it's appropriate. I'd much rather see Get Shorty, that sort of thing, where they actually put some thought into making it seem real. Anyway, but I did enjoy Will and Grace, the revival, season 1, and I think probably anyone would. It's light kind of comedy good in the background when you're getting your dinners or the pups' dinners ready or whatever. James really enjoyed all the Trump jokes, I think, so he enjoyed this more than I did. But anyway, so that's I'm going to give these dogs these treats because they're at my feet and excited. So that's it.